Hi guys, welcome to my studio. I just want to show you guys some raw materials for a lot of the sci-fi projects that I'm planning. Here's some foam, and as you can see, this has some very interesting shapes to it. It's a very large piece, so this would probably be most of your gaming table, if not all of the gaming table, right? Put this piece together with another piece, and basically you can have the whole game right on, this piece. I'll show you that in a second, but this has some really interesting shapes, and I'd like to make some modular sci-fi buildings and complex terrain that can be used in the games. Now here's another, this is one of my favorite raw materials for use in, making sci-fi buildings. Here's the stuff that I use for making grading, right? To give that sort of metallic grading feel on the catwalks and everything. More foam. Foam is excellent, but you do have to use a technique to paint it. You have to use watered down glue with some kind of bright paint so that you can see it, and then coat the entire thing with watered down glue. Let it dry, and then you can spray paint it without melting it. You got to do a couple of coats at least. But look at this piece. This is just fabulous. It has some very interesting nooks and crannies there. You can make some really cool looking buildings and put them together, You can make some kind of like industrial complex with this. Add some tubing, some straws, and all that, and it'll look good. You can also mix foam. Sorry about that. You can mix foam and those cardboard pieces. And you got this interesting structure here. That would make an interesting building. Let's go on to the other side of the studio. This is normally my sculpting bench, but here I have some very interesting foam. Right? And again, if you put these together and cut these areas of foam here to make some entrances, all around, you can have models interact with the terrain and kind of move around. I have enough foam that I can make an entire game table with just these pieces, to depict like a very large complex that is being stormed, by one of the players. So it really has a lot of interesting shapes. But the other thing I was thinking, if I can make this terrain really modular, then you can kind of join the terrain pieces in any way you want to make different kinds of buildings, different kinds of structures. So that's my goal, is to make this as modular as possible so that you can use, all of that interesting texture, as you can see. And I use these as well. These make good industrial, like giant canisters of something, some kind of chemical or something. So yeah, I use that as well. And coming back here to this workstation, I got a paper towel tube, which I use extensively, and bottles. I drink a lot of water lately, so bottles are an excellent terrain piece there. Nice way to recycle them. And old cans as well. I use those again for, making like the tubes and the things that connect the different buildings. That just gives it a very sci-fi look. So there you go, folks. There is all the junk that I have to recycle, and I will be using that in the next coming weeks to make different kinds of sci-fi buildings now that I'm on a sci-fi kick. So hopefully it'll focus. So there you go, folks. Thank you very much. And this is from my studio to show you guys a little bit of the projects that I have planned. So let's see how it goes, folks. Never really know if you're going to be successful until you try it. All right, and one last thing before I go, I'm going to walk over to the gaming section here. And here's a table using those pieces that I just showed, right? And this is a city fight terrain table, sorry. So you can kind of see what I'm aiming for now. We're going to have more of these buildings here. You can make a large table, and if I connect these with like catwalks or bridges, that would make an excellent play surface. You know, it'll be fully three-dimensional and just really cool. These are some old 40K tanks that I have lying around. I'm going to repaint those, and we can use them as destroyed vehicles. So, all right, folks, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me in the studio. This is MJ Wargaming Creations signing off.